Damien, please explain to me how a business that needs to make profits can outcompete a business that doesn't need to make profits. And I mean outcompete in cost specifically. A government-owned and ran business of any kind that we have today could operate at cost and even get bailed out if needed. It would literally have an unfair advantage. I don't see how you can prefer a profit-oriented business. I personally would always buy the cheaper version provided by the state-run, non-for-profit option. Now, if you want to say that getting bailed out by taxpayer money is an unfair advantage on the taxpayers, fair enough, but we already have that with stacks of private businesses in all Western countries. Everything from big banks in the USA to Harvey Norman outlets in Australia have received government cheese in one way or another, and within my lifetime, I'm under 40. If you observe the USA right now, it is looking like a state-run capitalism. Okay, it is looking like fascism. And what you're going to say is that we need that because, pink-haired idiot made fun of Charlie Kirk's death. Oh, really? The same goes with banks. Like, if we had a government option, it would outcompete private banks hands down. I would personally deposit everything I have, everything I could there on the first day of operation. How can that not outcompete what we have now in the Commonwealth Bank? All we have now is the government making sure that you do business with these banks. You can't get employment without having a bank account in a private bank in this country. That's direct government protection of private banks. Well, for some reason the government does not want to have a bank. I just don't understand it. This government never wants to do something in its own favor, in the people's favor. This government wants to push us onto stable coins, into digital currency, and it still wants to have private banks controlling that. Why? Why do you need that? The businesses I'm specifically referring to, though, that must be in state hands, or at least in Australian hands, are anything to do with food, water and health. This is all in private hands in Australia, owned and controlled by hungry, war-hungry billionaires. They're not hungry, but they're globalists. They're people that feel little or no kinship to the country they reside in. So ordinary people are paying through their nose for food and shelter. A poor place like Russia and China, that are poor in many ways, for the size of their respective populations, they have way fewer homeless and they have cheaper domestically produced food to eat. Under all those sanctions, you walk into Russia, okay, if you're in Moscow or any other city, you walk into a supermarket and you have all this domestically sourced fresh produce that you can eat. Whereas Australia produces enough food to feed 70 million people, and with a population of 25 million or whatever it is, we have expensive food. We should not have expensive food here. Just name me one thing that has gotten cheaper since being privatized. I mean, I can wait. I can wait for your reply. We live in a world where the most aggressive people are the ones that already have the most. Okay? We protect this status quo in order to maintain peace. I think it's past the time we started physically defending ourselves from this kind of peace.